everybody. This is Lauren. I'm the teen librarian at the Scott County Public Library in Georgetown, Kentucky, and I am here today with another Teen Book Bites. So you may have noticed I've got a couple friends here with me, and strangely enough, none of the books I'm talking about are about space. But I did want to throw out that we do have a lot of awesome options if you're interested in sci-fi or space travel. So I'm going to show a few of those real quick. This is one of my absolute favorites. This is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Cinderella is a cyborg and she has to go fight an evil queen on the moon. So, space. Pretty awesome. And then we also have by E.K. Johnston, Ahsoka, she's a character in the Star Wars universe. Some of you may know her as Anakin's Padawan. Try to combine those words together right there. And then she also makes an appearance in Mandalorian with our friend Baby Yoda over here. And then I did also want to shout out, we have a lot of awesome graphic novels in our collection. And of course, we have some Star Wars ones. Han Solo is one of my favorite characters of all time. So if you want to know more about that, come check us out. All right, so now I'm going to get down to the books that I actually did read. And I want to talk to you about Charming as a Verb by Ben Philippe. So Charming as a Verb takes place in New York City. It is about Henry, who is the son of two Haitian immigrants. And he has kind of flourished in New York. He has been accepted into, the prestigious Fate Academy, which is a very kind of interactive, just really cool kind of high school, basically. I think some students have been there for longer than that, though. But Henry is there on scholarship, and he's kind of, he tries his best to hide that. He's not really ashamed of his parents, but he just doesn't want to face that judgment. And he's kind of popular, too, so he wants to kind of hang on to that. And in order to make money for college, because Henry is about to graduate, he's a senior, and so some of you may relate to Henry, he kind of starts this dog walking business. But the people he wants to walk dogs for, he knows won't just trust a high school student with their dogs. He knows he has to get kind of a business arrangement with them. So Henry kind of becomes a con man and creates a dog walking business. He, builds a website, makes everything really official, and one of his classmates finds out, and she blackmails him with this information to help her become more popular, or more outgoing. She's very, very studious. She's very, she's very much a Hermione Granger before she kind of calms down. And her name is Corinne. And they both live in the same apartment building, but Corinne and her mother live in one of the kind of penthouse suites, and Henry and his family, his dad is the supervisor or the superintendent of the apartment, so they live in one of the bottom apartments for the caretakers, and it's not as nice as Corinne's. So it's all about how they go through and develop this weird friendship that neither one of them expected, because Corinne just wanted her recommendation letters to look a little better as she tries to get into an Ivy League school. And Henry just doesn't want his current situation to blow up in his face. And he is desperate to get into Columbia University. That's the university his father's picked. He says, that is where you have to go. You'll make everyone so proud. So it kind of goes along as Henry figures out, does he want to go to Columbia for himself, or does he want to go for his father? So he has a lot of decisions to make. So it's a really, really intriguing book. I think the pacing of it is really well done. You don't really like Henry at first. He seems kind of standoffish. But then as he kind of opens up to Corinne, and as he kind of starts questioning all these things, you kind of start to get really involved. So Charming as a Verb by Ben Philippe is an exceptional book. I highly recommend it. And then I also wanted to talk to you guys about Hello, Cruel Heart. And this is by Maureen Johnson. So she's another exceptional writer. And this, as you may have guessed, is about one of our favorite Disney villains, Cruella de Vil. But this is before she becomes Cruella. So this follows 16-year-old Estella as she travels through London in the 60s. So it's the height of the Beatles and the height of like the mod fashion. It was so much fun to read about that, you guys. I was looking up all of the little references she made to the different dresses and the different purses, and they were so cute, so much fun to look at. So Estella runs around London with Horace and Jasper, her two little henchmen in the movie. Sorry, Grogu. And they are pickpockets or thieves. So that is how they make their living. They don't have a lot. They steal what they need. And then, every now and then they steal a little bit more. So Estella can make disguises and make clothing. So she is a designer. And she's really, really good at it. So eventually what happens is Estella runs into two very posh, rich children. I shouldn't say children, teenagers, who have been orphaned, and they're just kind of very another world to Estella, and she starts to hang out with them. And eventually she kind of is absorbed into their world. She's designing clothes for them. She's no longer, stealing with Horace and Jasper. She's kind of cut ties with them. She's centered her world around this new group of rich, posh people. And, she starts to question, what is this really what I want? Are these people really looking out for me? And the really interesting thing is she has almost like a split personality. She has like a voice in the back of her head that her mother long ago named Cruella. And that voice is very snarky and can be very vicious and just very, very cruel. And so every now and then Estella will let Cruella come forward and kind of fight her battles for her. So this one, it was really fun. It was really fast. It went by really quickly. And I highly recommend it. It's so much fun. And every time I look at this cover, I just think of the song Cherry Bomb by Joan Jett, and I love it. It's so much fun. Okay, so those are two just super fun reads, if you guys are interested in those. And then I know we have some graduation coming up, or maybe they've already come by now. But if you're looking for a little bit of inspiration, I've got a couple books here that I think you guys will like. So this is Good Morning, Good Night by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And this is a collection of tweets that he sent, I think a couple years ago. But he just started to send good morning and good night tweets. And these are illustrated by Johnny Sun. So it's another kind of just fun little element to the book. And I'll read the one that's on the back of the book real quick so you can kind of get an idea of what I mean when I say a good morning and then a good night. So we have our good morning. Good morning. Eyes up. Hearts up. Minds sharp. Compassion on full blast. Sips coffee. Okay, let's go. And then our good night. It says, good night. Eyes shut. Hearts open. Minds calm. Empathy on full blast. Sips tea. Okay, let's go. So you can see they kind of mirror each other, and they're just nice little messages to kind of give you a little pick-me-up as we move forward into a new time. It's summer, it's fun. Some of us have graduated, so fun times. And then I also wanted to mention the Make Good Art speech by Neil Gaiman. I love Neil Gaiman's writing. Although I will be honest, I've never finished anything that he's written because it takes me so long, and I'll tell you why. Every time I read Neil Gaiman, I come across a sentence that it just makes me stop, and I have to put the book down, and I just sit there, and I think that is exactly how you put that feeling into words. I didn't know you could do that, and it's so great. It's such a wonderful experience. So I love his writing. He's fantastic. But the Make Good Art speech is a fun speech that just, it's all about taking the lemons that life hands you and turning them into art, turning them into a great experience. So let's see here on the back, leg crushed and then eaten by a mutated boa constrictor. Make good art. Turn that pain into something beautiful. And I think that's a great lesson. It's a fantastic speech. It's so much fun. And this is another one that's really fun to read because it's not just our traditional left to right text. It is all over the place. As you can tell, it starts here, it goes down here, it's all over the place. It's fantastic. It's so much fun to read. And then the way this is formatted in print is just another layer. So those are the books that I have for you for our Teen Book Bites. We have summer reading coming up. Guys, it's almost summer. It's crazy. So make sure you check out our events calendar on our website. That is www.scottpublib.org, and sign up for anything that seems interesting. We are doing reading logs. We're logging all of the reading through Beanstack. You can sign up for that on our website. There's a 1,000,000-minute May challenge right now that you can sign up for and contribute to reaching 1,000,000 minutes of reading in May. Sounds like a lot, but I think we can do it. And I think that is all that I have for you guys. So make sure you check out our calendar to see what is upcoming, and we will see you soon. All right.